Hey everyone, this is LuckySevenDX. Welcome back to Let's Play Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. In the last episode, we got ourselves a bunch of special attacks, and we also cured the Blorbs using our new Miracle Totally Cure, which we can now use to pierce the barriers and make our way to Peach's Castle. However, in this episode, we're not going to quite do that yet. We're going to actually prepare for the whole Peach's Castle thing. There's a couple Cholesteroad moments, a couple Cholesteroads we need to do in order to get a really good piece of equipment. In addition, there's also some things we can do in Toad Town now that the Blorbs are cured. So that's not going to be the schedule today. Today's just going to be sort of the warm-up, the getting prepared for our final challenge, because Peach's Castle is the beginning of the end game. It's the beginning of Act 3. It is worthy of a whole act in itself, though. Believe me, it is going to be a very long end game. Like, you thought the end game for Partisan Time was long, Peach's Castle was long in that game. But we're still probably have a good 15-something episodes left. We're not even that close to being done, let me tell you that much. Not even close. But, Cholesteroad, Challenge Node, new stuff awaits. We're going to go ahead and wrap all that stuff up later. And then later, of course, we'll make our way over and wrap up the rest of the stuff with Bowser, too, because we all know Bowser has some stuff to take care of still as well. But first, I'll quickly go ahead and just show up the gauntlet, just to show you guys that we do have 4 of the 6 challenges now. So if you wanted to challenge this 4th one for 1,200 coins, you can. Recommend it for levels 30 and up. We aren't quite at that level quite yet. That being said, since I have all the beans and everything, I probably could maybe try to do it. I'm going to do all the Cholesteroad stuff at the end of the game. We're going to see how far I can get with just the levels that I'm at. I'm hoping once I get level, I'm going to get to level 40 as well, because I know you guys want to show me a show off Final Boss and a Rainbow Rank. So hopefully that will be enough to get through everything with just level 40. I think I probably could do it if I play my cards right. We'll see. Anyway, Spin Pipe, the challenge for this, not actually that hard. I think I consider this to be the second easiest one, only past Super Bouncers. All you need to do really just like I said, the trick for doing this, okay, so Mario's the one who landed this time. So look in the bottom here, or just follow the bottom, and if it ends up on top, then do the other bro, because you know it's the other bro on bottom. And if it's the other one, then if it is on bottom again, then you know, hey, that one's Mario. So like I said, Mario's here. We know if you just watch it, you can see, okay, it ended up on top, it's Luigi, and so on and so forth. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but I guess my strategy is watch only one end of the pipe. Don't memorize Mario and Luigi. Just memorize who's in one end, keep track of that end, and then use that to deduce. Luckily, you do have a lot of time since the moment it stops and the moment you have to press the button for you to make your decision. So really, Spin Pipe, not that complicated. All you need, I mean, just the rotation gets faster, but really, I find that as long as you just focus on the bottom, you never really lose track of which one's which. So I do consider this one to be one of the easiest ones. I think all you need is 30 as well, so not that tricky in the end. Just gonna keep going, get the 30, and then Magic Window. Magic Window will be a bit tougher. I still think Green Shell, out of all the Mario and Luigi ones, is the toughest, believe it or not. I think, like, Super Bounce, You-Who Can's pretty tough, too. I'd say Green Shell, then You-Who Can, and then Magic Window, then the Jump Helmets, then Spin Pipe, then Super Bouncers. I put that as the order of difficulty from hardest to easiest. Just my personal opinion. But yeah, like I said, we will actually get something when you complete all the Cholesteroad, all 6 challenges you have here. So we're gonna actually do that in this episode. There's not any new special attacks. The new special attacks just don't, you don't use them for anything. You don't use them for the Cholesteroad. It's just, just a normal special attack. Like Snack Baskets, for example, or Mighty Meteor. You get a new special attack, but it doesn't really add anything new for a bonus challenge. Just a new special attack for you to use. So there are some of those left to do. I think I just ended that on purpose there, because I was like, you know what, I could really go on forever with this one. But you get a thing called an Advice Patch. Not a horrible item, but in the end, it's not really anything too special either. But what we need to do now is Magic Window. I'll show off what the Advice Patch does after we get this one. But first, we need some magic in our windows and some windows in our magic. And that's precisely what we're going to do. So, really, the trick for this one is just to be fast. Just, it's just like, say using Pocket Chomps or Copy Flowers back in Partners in Time. It's really just, press the right button. There's really no other task than that. It's just literally just pressing the right button. There's not really any tricks. It's pretty much this game's version of Copy Flowers, except it's a magic window instead. So, which I do love. I love how they just come from all the angles. I guess the hardest one's to press A and B, just because it's hard to press those buttons simultaneously sometimes, especially if you're rushing. Just take your time, don't panic, and you'll be okay. I believe that the goal is 120, so it is quite high. It is going to go really fast later on. So it's not exactly the easiest one in the world, but it's not that hard either. All you really do is just memorize the button. Simple as that. So just keep going. and eventually you'll just get it. They do go really fast, you can see though. Just Mario and Luigi's coming from all the directions, and this is literally how the round could go. I mean, this is actually legit practice because I don't believe Magic Window has a limit. So if you could do something like this in an actual fight, you could easily rack up like, you know, several hundreds of damage on an enemy, which is amazing. So who knows if you can get that to work. I'm actually doing really well for this first try. My goodness. I actually got B rank my first try. That's pretty impressive. Like I said, it's not really that challenging as long as you just can focus and just do it. You know, just keep pressing the buttons as fast as not really as fast as you can, but I'm not sure. You have to be careful about the timing though. Like if you press A or B too early, you have to time it so you're jumping on them. That can also throw you off. Like if you do it a little too early or too early or too late, you will screw up as well. So it does have a pretty big window, but don't take advantage of the window. Make sure you just try to time it perfectly, or else you're gonna be screwed. Can I get this first try? Can I get this first try? Come on, Oh, come on, really? I was so close. Oh well, we get 600 coins. I guess I'll go ahead and show off this main attempt, which is unfortunate, because I was so close my first try. I was so close. So very close. But what can you do? I mean, like I said, this isn't going to be really the most eventful episode. It really is just Cholesteroad stuff, and, it's really just Cholesteroad stuff is the majority of this episode. And then, just a few Toad Town things. There are a few extra beans we can collect. I believe maybe even a few special... Oh, yeah, there's a few special items as well we can collect, and just some coins. There's not really anything we want to buy. We can't actually access the Ultimate Shop quite yet, because you need to be Star Rank. We're still Shine Rank, I believe. I think Star Rank is level 25, so we are getting pretty close to Star Rank. Just 2 more levels. Level and a half, actually, at this point, because the Shrooms did give us quite a lot of experience. But we aren't quite there yet, so it's unfortunate. We'll have to stop back here later. Like I said, Peach's Castle is long. There's going to be lots of different sections to do, and other stuff as well in Peach's Castle. So, that whole act, we're definitely going to find time to go back to Toad Town at some point during this whole thing, and stock up on all the stuff in there, because there are really good items in there. Pretty much the best items in the game will be found in this shop. Unlike Partners in Time, where you had to find those best items in the wild, although you actually can find the best outfit for Mario and Luigi in the wild, you can also buy in the shop, so you can actually buy it this time. There's no having to grind for it like in Partners in Time, which is fortunate. You can just pretty much buy it. That being said, it's gonna be really, really expensive. Like, I've been saying this whole game, oh, the coins aren't that big a deal. Well, turns out in the end, the item is expensive, but I'm only gonna get 1 copy of it because, well, it's actually debatable whether or not it's the best item. It is actually debatable because the item we're gonna get here for completing the Cholesteroad is gonna be on par, in my opinion, with that item. Stat-wise, it won't be as good, but it's gonna have a special effect that's gonna be really beneficial. That, I think, in my opinion, puts it on par with the other ones. So I'm probably going to wear both of them, just to have some variety. That and the fact that I don't want them to spend that much money twice. But there's also some good items in that shop, so we'll stop by later. So that's kind of the basis of what we're going to do. So basically, we're going to be getting arguably one of the best... Man, I'm really going far here. Arguably one of the best armors in the game for Mario and Luigi. Right here, A-Rank Masterwear. Like I said, arguably one of the best. Not in terms of stats, but overall, arguably one of the best items in the game. So we have that, the Giant Shell, also another really great item. We're getting pretty close to getting, what I consider the ideal setup for the bros. Siphon Gloves aren't bad. It makes your hammer attacks restore SP, which is kind of odd. Restoring SP per hit. That's something you don't really see very often in these games. And then the Advice Patch, I believe, boosts the special attack of a suggested move. That's not bad either. But the Masterwear, as you can see, a lot of defense, a lot of extra SP, which means you can use more special attacks, and it boosts the power of your special moves. So basically, all of our special attacks now are going to be doing an additional 15% of damage, which is awesome. So, while it doesn't have the best stats, it does give that extra 15% to your special attacks, which is really, really beneficial, and definitely something worth, being able to pick up if you can. So because of that, well, actually the Ultimate Wear also does have a beneficial side effect as well, but it's not, I don't consider it as beneficial as this one. So, who knows, it might actually be one of the best things. I'm going to go ahead and buy some tea, because I'm actually a little bit down on my stats here. Just some royalty, getting us back up to full. Like I said, we're preparing for the final battle here. These next 5 minutes, just scouring Toad Town, looting Toad Town, and all of its inhabitants. They're going to have to pay the Blorb's recovery tax. and give us all the special goodies that they own in their houses, because we're going to go loot them. Because that's what we do. We're Mario and Luigi. It's what you do in every RPG. You go into a town, and you just loot it dry. Any items, any treasure chests left in people's houses, even if they're right there in front of you, you just take it, and they can't do shit about it because they're just toads. They can't stand to Mario and Luigi. We're just tyrants. We're stealing all their shit, and they can't do a thing about it. But there's like 3 or 4 beans I think you can get over here. It might be. It might only be 3. I don't remember. Actually, it might even be only 2. Not really many beans you can get overall. But you actually can go in that house. Before I do that, though, I'm going to quickly go over here, and I'm going to get these items in here. 100 coins and mushroom stones. So finally we can get a few items that we couldn't get before. Finally able to access that blue shell. We couldn't go over there before because there was a blorb toad in the way. Mushroom stone, once again, one of those items that have to do with mushrooms. Really not that big of a deal, you know. Anything that involves mushrooms I really don't tend to care about. We can also access this house, I believe, which we couldn't before, which means we can fly over here, use a little spin jump, our Toadsworth twist, as I still love to call it. And we couldn't actually make this jump before, so now we can, because we can fly from over here. Get ourselves some ultra mushrooms, talk to this toad. Yes, we know about this shopping mall. We knew this like several. I guess he's talking about that one. Whatever, it's still information we already knew, not that big of a deal. But we also can get some muscleware. And it's also another pretty decent item you can equip to everyone. What does it give? It does give 20 extra power. Do I want to put this on? That's the question. Do I want? I guess I'd rather have Luigi get the heartware rather than Mario get the muscleware. Like, the 20 extra power is nice, but its defense is pretty crappy. And I'd rather Luigi have extra HP than Mario have extra power, because like I said, Luigi is going to be gaining a lot of HP. Luigi is the tank. I think I'd rather have him have the HP. I think overall the heartware is a slightly better item than the muscleware. Also because, you know, extra health means, you know, you heal more from our badges, which is important in the end, so good idea to do that. Anyway, we're also going to stop over here because there's actually some interesting stuff you can do in this little area, in this little locked up house that we can now access. We can now actually go into this thing. If you hammer it, we can open it. And then Mario can enter in here. You get a little extra interesting little sort of side-scrolling segment here. A little bit of a classic platforming here to get a pretty interesting item. Not as good as the giant shell, but you'll see it's it's in the shell family of items. There's sort of like, you know, I think there's only 3 of these shells in the game. The small shell, which we've seen before, the giant shell, which we currently have equipped, which is just brokenly good, and then this one, which is also good, but I think it might have, I forget if it has synergy with a certain item in the game, but it's also a pretty good item. I'm not actually sure how it works, to be perfectly honest. I don't really know exactly how it works, but I'll explain to you when I get it. It's actually right, you have to fall down in this direction over here, and it's right here, the KO shell. Now this thing's kind of interesting. What it does is it negates damage taken on a KO blow. Now I'm not sure if that only does it once, or if it continues to negate damage that will knock you out, which thus would make you invincible, wouldn't it? So I don't think it would do that. That seems overly broken if it prevents you from ever dying. But I think it would negate a KO blow, which can be useful. I'm not sure if it combines with the Daredevil boots, with the boots that make you so you get killed in one hit. Because that could make it, you know, there might be a way to tweak that so you can actually take multiple hits with the Daredevil boots on. I'm going to experiment with that, because that could be a very useful strategy for the Gauntlet. Negating KO blows and then using the boots to instantly KO you, and then using that, you know, to basically be able to get hit twice before you faint from the Daredevil boots, which would be pretty awesome. So I need to do some research into how those work. If you guys know how the KO shell or any of the shells interact with the Daredevil boots, I would appreciate knowing more about that as well. There's also a beacon over here. There was a fat toad, a blorbed toad on that one spot, so we couldn't get it before. So that's all the beans we can get for now. I'm not going to bother, you know, adding them right now, because there's really no point. I only have 2 beans. There's actually beans in Peach's Castle, so I'll wait till I get all the beans in Peach's Castle before I use those ones as well. But here we go, we get an interesting cutscene where Mario fires the Miracle Cure straight into the face. Miracle Cure to the face of these little barriers, and they go down, which means Peach's Castle is finally open for us. Fawful, we are coming for you. We're going to take back that Dark Star. We're going to prevent you from becoming the evil overlord. All that fine and dandy stuff. But this is it, guys. Peach's Castle coming up right now. Before I go there, let's just go ahead. We haven't done a stat check in a long time. We can actually compare our bro stats here. See how they're doing. Bowser's doing pretty decent as well, but we haven't actually gotten near him yet. Mario has a ton of defense now thanks to that those Masterwear. Luigi will get something good soon enough that will make him comparable, but obviously Mario right now is vastly superior just thanks to that one wear. Kind of interesting. But this is Lucky7DX signing out. In the next episode, guys, the beginning of the end. Peach's castle awaits our heroes. Fawful is inside. We need to take him down once and for all. What's going to happen? Find out next time.